Hi everyone, welcome to Tent Talk, the Farmers Market podcast. This podcast is all about farmers markets, how to increase your market business success, and in our current climate, maximize safety while providing people with fresh food. Farmers markets are essential. Whether you're a farmers market manager or a small farmer or food maker selling at farmers markets, you have found just the right podcast. On today's episode of Tent Talk, we're talking about scheduling markets during upcoming holiday weeks. I'm one of your hosts, Bridget Myers. I've spent years as an on-site farmers market manager, and I'm the education coordinator at Farmers Market Pros.
And I'm Kat Fields-White, Director of San Diego Markets, still an active farmers market manager, founder of Farmers Market Pros, and host of the Farmers Market Pros community and Intense, the Farmers Market Conference.
And I'm Justine Marzoni-Mead, Tent Talk producer, marketing director for Farmers Market Pros, and the logistics coordinator for Intense, the Farmers Market Conference 2021, which is coming up live online February 15th through 18th. If you register today, use the special code TALK21 at checkout, and you'll get a little discount from us. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays from all of us. Well, welcome back to Tent Talk. Today we're chatting about the ins and outs of scheduling your markets during the holiday season. Diwali is behind us, Hanukkah is underway and runs through this Friday. Christmas is a week from Friday, and Kwanzaa a day after that, and then New Year's.
Wait, Christmas is a week from Friday?
Oh my gosh.
Christmas is a week from Friday.
Get shopping, ladies.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
This is like the longest year and the shortest year ever, all wrapped up into one.
I say it every week. I go, wow, that week really dragged on and flew by. At the same time, that's how I feel about the year, actually.
Yeah, crazy. Oh, 2020.
It's nuts.
So some markets in some parts of the country, the market season's closed. It's ended, and it won't start again until spring or summer, so this isn't really an issue. But for those of us with year-round markets, it's one more thing to figure out. Our job is weird. Our job description is so long. Do you close on major holidays? And which holidays are major?
And we, of course, don't close much.
Ever? Hardly ever.
Yeah. Maybe Christmas Day, I think.
We have closed Christmas Day. We've only been closed on Christmas Day once in the 12 years that the Little Italy Mercado's been open because we had a leap year in there. And so it's only happened. Yeah, it's only happened once in all those years. And so this year, of course, Saturday is not Christmas. But next year will be, so we'll have to address that again.
If we make it to next year. 2020 is just going to keep going.
It's going to keep going. Yeah, perpetual 2020.
No, Justine, take that back.
I take it back.
Take it back. We have closed Tuesday and Thursday markets on Christmas.
Yeah, it was a bummer. Last year, actually, Christmas Eve was a Tuesday, and then Christmas Day was a Wednesday. So then New Year's Eve was a Tuesday, and New Year's Day was a Wednesday. And so we were all of our weekday markets were closed for a solid 2 weeks.
Wow.
So
they were, and it was partly because they're afternoon evening markets. Those markets. Well, Wednesday wasn't. I think Wednesday was still really new, and so it didn't make sense to be open on New Year's Day. Typically, New Year's Day is a day that we stay open because New Year's Day, not New Year's Eve so much. New Year's Eve, if it's a morning market, we'd be open because people come out to buy things for parties. Remember parties? Oh. So in the olden days, people would come out to buy things for
the days of yore.
People would be gathering with other people and they would want food and beverages. So they would come out in the morning and buy a lot of stuff on New Year's Eve. But New Year's Eve at afternoon and evening markets would be closed because people are already on their way and they're not going to stop and come grocery shop. Was essentially our thought. But New Year's Day, we've almost always been open at markets because people wake up New Year's Day and they're making resolutions, and one of those things they want to resolve to do this next year always is eat healthy and shop local, shop at farmers markets. So they come out to the farmers market, they load up on cupcakes because if it's at the farmers market,
because they're hungover.
Right. And they're buying it at the farmers market, so it's still healthy and local.
Part of their New Year's resolution, they can still check that box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Exactly. But they're definitely there. I mean, we've always had really busy New Year's Day markets. So
that makes sense.
We would never consider closing on New Year's Day, especially at a morning market. But Christmas, that's that's a biggie in America.
Yep.
Lots of people. I think it depends too a little bit on your community. So, Little Italy, we've got this huge historic Catholic church, and it's a big part of the community. So Christmas is kind of a really big deal. But in another neighborhood, you might not want to be open on Yom Kippur if it falls on your market day, or Eid. So it kind of depends on what your neighborhood is like, which of those major holidays is really major for you.
Yeah. Are there any other holidays that aren't religious? Thanksgiving is one that if you had a Thursday market, obviously we wouldn't.
We would close every year at our North Park market. That was a Thursday evening market, so that'd be closed once a year on Thanksgiving. Regularly, right. But not really. 4th of July.
We were open this year on 4th of July.
4th of July, we're typically open in the morning. So that's another one of those things that we'd be open in the morning on that holiday because a lot of people would come out and buy things for their barbecues. Here we go again. Oh,
well, I feel like they were this July buying things for their barbecues, and that's why we had a spike like 6 weeks later. So
we had a lot of tourists too. We were like, go home.
We're like, get out of here. Why did you travel here? Is it conflicted?
That's funny too. Usually our holiday season markets in general, and including like the day after Christmas or the weekend after Thanksgiving, is usually crazy, crazy busy for us because we have a lot of people that have family come into town. And by the time they get to Saturday, they're tired of turkey and they're pretty tired of having their relatives in the house. Mm-hmm. They all want to get out. And so they go outside to the market and they buy fish and, things that aren't turkey. And that's good. But this year, all bets are off because people aren't so much having family come into town and they're not necessarily buying big turkeys. We had our turkey vendors, farmers were finding that smaller turkeys were what everybody wanted this year because it's smaller gatherings. So the crowds at holiday markets are a little bit different this year.
Yeah, a little bit of adjusting.
Yeah, so since we are open this year, the day after Christmas, how are we managing vendors that maybe want to take the holiday weekend off, or, if they're a bread baker and they want to have fresh pastries for the market the next day, but they don't want to spend all of Christmas baking, how are we curating the market on a holiday weekend?
Yeah, so we try to be fair about that. We realize that even though it's the day after holiday, the 26th is not a holiday unless you're celebrating Kwanzaa or Boxing Day, in which case it is. Back to what's a major holiday and what does everybody close down for? But you'd have to work. The farmers would have to harvest, the bakers would have to bake. All those things would have to happen on the holiday. So we're pretty flexible with our farmers and vendors. We always have pretty strong, again before 2020, but we've always had pretty strong attendance requirements. You're committed to showing up at the market every day. But that particular day, and it's happened to us in the past too, those kind of days, we usually are much more flexible with the vendors. And if they want to take off, we totally understand that. They need, they're allowed to have time with their families on the holiday too. But we do ask them to give us plenty of notice because we actually have, and this year kind of more, we've got people that are waiting for a space to fill in or pop up at the market because we just don't have room for all of our farmers and vendors right now. So we've been sending out emails and advisories since the 1st of November saying, if for any reason you need to take off, this would mean working on Christmas for you and you'd like to take the following day off, or you just need a holiday break, or you're going to see family, shame on you.
Like no judgment, but traveling.
No judging, but let us know. So we've just, and many of our vendors have been good. I'd say about 2/3 of our vendors at this point have responded to say that they're either in or out on the 26th. And that's let us arrange what the market's going to look like. We actually thought this year, because it was so crazy, that we might have a lot of people that just said, it's not really about the holiday. I just need a break, and this seems to be a sensible day to take a break. And I'd have considered closing the market this year if we had a huge response from our farmers and vendors that they just didn't want to do it.
Well, I knew it was a really long year for everyone when, Kat, you did say, maybe we'll just keep it closed. We'll see how many people respond. And I almost died of shock because Kat would usually say, all these vendors better show up. We're going to be open on the 26th.
You're like, are you okay?
That's how we've always...
Take your temperature or...
Do you need to lay down? But it was like, we're so exhausted. And there was a couple of vendors that did mention like, I need the sales. I think people are like really need to attend every single market because money's tight. And just a couple of them were like, but I'm so exhausted. Coming to the market is so much harder now with the masks and with the rules and all the stuff that's going on. They just need a break. But that is only like a few vendors. Most of them are going to participate.
So we've been surprised. I was open, if we had a huge avalanche of people that wanted off, but we don't. So we have probably 20% of our farmers and vendors that want to take off. And because we've got a big footprint, we're just going to, instead of doing 4 blocks, we'll do 3 blocks and kind of fill in. So it's not too spread out. But yeah, I think we're going to have a really good, healthy, busy little market on the 26th after all. And as Bridget says, in these kind of strange economic times, a lot of our farmers and vendors need that day's sales, and people usually do come out. But you've got to let people know too, because we're getting a million phone calls from shoppers asking if we're open or not. So if you're going to stay open on those holiday type of dates, one of the key things is to start early, letting people know that you're going to be open, because you don't want to have a sparse crowd of shoppers just because they assume that you're closed. So.
Yeah, and make sure that you're putting it on your social media, on your website. If you have a Google business, you can make an announcement. I just learned that today.
Yeah, you can make an announcement if you didn't know, because I just did this. San Diego just recently, we are under a stay-at-home order because our ICU beds are at an outrageous capacity. So anyways, that aside, we got a lot of phone calls last week at the market, and just people, asking through social media and sending us emails if we are allowed to be open, if we are open regular hours, those kinds of things. So if you have a Google business page, you need to log in and claim that page, and then you can go make announcements on there. And they've made it really easy now, because it's like, do you want to make a COVID related announcement? And that can be announcements about if you're still open, if your hours have changed, anything like that. So it's real easy. Just go bop, and then I just said, like, during the current stay at home order, which went into effect December 7th or whatever day it was, or when was that? God, it feels
I think it was the 7th.
God, I'm like, what day is it? Like during this current stay-at-home order, the market is considered an essential business, and we are open our regular hours from 8 to 2, blah, blah, blah. There are these like really important rules: wear face covering, please shop alone, those kind of things. So you can put that on there, and then people will see that when they like go to Google your business. So It's really helpful. It's a quick way for people to understand what's going on. And you want to kind of timestamp it in some way so they don't think that post was made in March or April or whatever, since things have changed. So
I did not know that either. That's good.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a presentation coming up at the conference in February about Google Business.
Yeah.
It's going to come. Yeah, it's a short presentation on how to manage the Google Business situation, because I think a lot of people don't know how to deal with that.
No.
But so many people refer to it.
Yeah,
so I get phone calls the day of every market saying, well, it says here you're closed, because Google will automatically post something that says maybe closed due to current conditions. So then we get a million phone calls. So save yourself the aggravation and do that update.
If you don't claim your business, and if you aren't in communication with that page, because they'll send you emails and ask you questions about things, if you don't respond and if you don't log in as a business owner and like do little updates to your profile, Google will like make assumptions for you, and they will post things like this business might be closed. Or like on 4th of July, I had to post the market's open because it's a major holiday. So Google was basically, they have it in all red. It looks like it's closed. It's like could be temporarily closed. And so I had to say, no, we're going to be open. And then I put an announcement on there. So, and then people ask questions on there all the time, and people ask questions, and then other people will go in there and answer them for you. Just like trying to be helpful. But a lot of times, I don't know who is logging on and answering these questions. They are the wrong answers. People are always like, is this pet friendly market? And people are always on there like, yes, bring your dogs. There's a ton of dogs. So just things like that. So it's really important to kind of stay up on that. And then you'll get reviews, and I don't reply to every review, but once in a while I'll go in there. I'll say thank you to the 5-star reviews a lot, just to kind of be like, hey, thanks, I appreciate that. And then if someone says something kind of wackadoo, I'll give them a short comment. But it's kind of like a Yelp page, but people use it really often, because if you go into your Maps program, that's what comes up as your Google business listing. So think of how many people are mapping to your business, especially farmers markets.
I think that's why we get so many calls, because people will be on the way there, and the map comes up with that kind of information, and then they're like, oh, are you closed?
Yeah.
No. Still here. Still here. Still here, but don't bring a big group. No sightseeing.
Don't bring your dog.
Bring your grocery bag, not your dog, not your big group. And your map.
So around the holidays, it's important to keep those kind of things updated. And go into your Yelp page, go onto your Facebook page, update all of those things, because just because your hours are posted, think about a business that you're going to visit. You don't assume that they're open on or around holidays just because it says their hours are, Monday through Friday. You want to see something kind of specifically pointed out. So
and that's it also for all those vendors out there listening. That's a really important thing too. If you're planning to take one of your markets off, let your shoppers know. The last couple of weeks we have had some vendors in and out because of holiday stuff, or maybe some COVID related thing or whatever. And when somebody is at the market looking for that vendor and they've walked a mile all around the market looking for them, and then they end up at the info booth and, they're disappointed.
Yeah.
So, hopefully people are still coming out if their favorite vendors aren't at the market that day, but just keeping those relationships, communicative. If you're going to be out for some reason, post it on your social media, let people know, and it just makes it a little bit easier for those shoppers.
Yeah, you can say we're taking the holiday
and if you're
weekend
not going
off.
to, right, and if you're not going to be out, post,
yes,
hey,
I will be there.
I'm going to be here on the 26th. That's
Yeah.
just, the more vendors reinforce the idea that we're open on a certain day, the better. I know. So the Santa Monica market, you were talking about people taking off just because they're tired. Santa Monica, and I think a lot of markets in LA, Hollywood, they were all closed the weekend after Thanksgiving. And it wasn't because that's not typically a busy week. It's usually a really busy weekend. But they said, and it just looked like an opportunity. It was close enough to the holiday that we wouldn't look like we were crazy to be closed. And we all just really needed a break.
Yeah.
So they did a lot of social media. They did, they sent out their email newsletters. They did all the things to let the shoppers know. But of course, there were, 72 million comments from people that got there to shop and found that they weren't there. But they just decided in self-defense that their staff and their team and a lot of their farmers and vendors were just worn out. It's been a rough year. So they decided to take the weekend off. So, if you decide that you've got a 26th or 27th of December market, it will seem logical to people that you close. You can call it a holiday closure. So if you just need a break, go for it.
Yeah,
take your
really
break.
Good point.
Take your break.
Like
consider this a permission slip.
Yeah. The three of us have voted, and we say that you can take the day off.
If you need it, sleep in.
Yeah,
you are absolved.
Yeah, that's right. Just let your shoppers know. Yeah. It's important.
And also, LA County has had incredibly high spikes. And so I feel like maybe around a holiday, that might have been a little, self-perseverance, like kind of keep their market people safe by not encouraging people who are traveling to LA to come out to the market in a different state and leave their germs all around and then leave. So just kind of be aware of, who your clientele is at the market. And, would it be a good idea just to kind of back off for a minute around the holidays and then come back when it's kind of safer, we're over that hump.
Yeah. So all good choices, staying open, not staying open. If you are open though, a lot of email newsletters, talk your vendors into decorating their booths, work it, make it fun and enjoy the holidays. We always do something for our vendors in terms of at least a card, or sometimes we do a raffle where they can draw for market money and they get a couple of bucks that they can spend at their fellow vendors, or they get, there's 2 people out of our big group. There's 2 little envelopes in there and nobody knows who's going to get the ones that say free rent this week.
I miss our little vendor appreciation parties. They were so fun.
Our parties are always fun, but
the parties were great, but we'll still be passing out something to remember people. I remember when we very first started the markets and gave everybody a holiday card. And I just thought it was a natural thing to do. The farmers and vendors are our clients, essentially in one way. Our job is weird. But we had people that got tears in their eyes because they said, they had been at markets for however many years and nobody had ever given them a card or whatever. So then we kind of upped our game and gave people T-shirts and
blew their minds.
They were so excited about a T-shirt, which is, really not that big an investment this year. A little tricky, but do something to remember your vendors and to point out to them that you're thankful for them, that you appreciate them. Farmers and vendors, you might want to do the same thing. Should I say for your market manager? Maybe not. But and
you
also
should really get us a nice card, okay?
Right, exactly.
I would like a T-shirt.
Yeah. T-shirt.
Right?
I would like a leg of lamb, actually.
Just gonna say, or if you're a Dale Ranch, a significant piece of meat.
I'd like a chicken. No, but honestly, like we've been getting some emails, just, email advisories out or whatever, and people will reply back and answer the question. And then just little notes from vendors like, hey, we appreciate everything you guys are doing and how you kept the markets open. And like, we really appreciate what you guys do. And every time someone says that in a just random email to us when we're discussing business things with them, it really does mean a lot to us. I know when we read those emails, even those quick little notes, it's like, it feels good to be recognized and like just appreciated, just during these times, because we are all a team, and it's nice when we recognize, hey, you guys are doing a great job, like, keep it up, and thanks for being on time, and thanks for keeping your mask on the whole time so I don't have to bug you about it. Just those things. And then people just telling us like, thanks for working so hard to keep the market going, and our honey vendor, whose booth is right next to our info booth, is constantly being like, "You guys have a hard job," because they see all the crazies that come up to it. They can't believe all the things we have to deal with, and it's funny, and then it's nice to be recognized. So
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. It's awesome. And you might think if you've got really, really regular customers, you might want to think about the idea of having some small item from your booth, like maybe the honey folks should have a bunch of little honey bears with a red bow on them that they can hand to their regular customers. So you might want to think about something like that. It's unexpected recognition and appreciation goes so far. And you'll never lose that customer if you give them just a little hint that you've appreciated them putting on the mask and putting up with all the rules and coming out to shop this year.
You just gave me a really good idea. I feel like we should do that for our regular customers that have their little bracelets still from when we had to hand those out in May.
Well,
that's a good idea.
I just remembered one year Dave and I sent out baby Clydesdale holiday cards. It was just a picture of us and just I think we were wearing baby Clydesdale t-shirts or something like that.
Said something funny.
We sent them out to all of our wholesale accounts, but we also gave them to some of our regular farmers market customers, and it didn't even have a discount code or anything. It was just a very thank you for supporting our small business, and people loved it. And so just really simple things that could be either at very small costs or or even just in your messaging, in your newsletters, thanking people, and we're all surviving the year together and just appreciating their business.
Yeah, easy things to do with relatively small investment, understanding that pennies are tight this year, but even a card or a thank you in an email, something to recognize that we've made it through together.
Even a verbal thank you if you can't get it together or you forget, and then you're on site at your market and you're like, oh no, I meant to say something. I know when shoppers come up to us and they say thanks for being open, you guys are doing a great job, that does mean a lot. And I bet if you said that to your customers, either as a farmer vendor or market manager, if you just recognized, hey, thank you for coming out to the market. Thank you for standing in line and for continuing to shop from these people. It really means a lot. I bet that would, just spread that community holiday cheer.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. Yeah.
What else? Email newsletters, include those recipes for what people can make for the holidays in the newsletter. It's always a hit. I love it when our vendors do that and they have little holiday recipes with what they're selling. Our mushroom guy is really good about that, and some of our other vendors do a great job of that.
Especially if you're a farmer that is growing something that people don't know how to cook.
If you're growing kohlrabi, you better have a recipe
isn't
card.
it kohlrabi season?
It is. I think it's kohlrabi season right now. That's just the one I've never even attempted, but
it's a toughie.
Someone make me a recipe card, please.
It's a good one though. Yeah, somebody that shows how you can serve that with a fun, festive holiday dip, or how to mash it up to be a side dish with your holiday dinner. Recipes are killer, and holiday recipes in particular are so fun to promote. So it's an easy email blurb right there. Just Google yourself some links for blogs. Be sure you give people attribution and get those recipes out there. It's an easy one.
Yeah, easy content during the holidays.
Oh, I just thought of another gift that you can give.
Oh.
If you are a market manager that has a special vendor that you want to gift, or if you are maybe a vendor that wants to give another vendor a gift, you can buy them a Vendor 101 class through the Farmers Market website.
That's a great idea, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. And you know what? If you're somehow have not been affected by this economic turn this year, and you've got some extra money left in a budget, in any of your budgets, it would be cool, since it's online this year, for market managers to get that big tent package and bring a bunch of their vendors, virtually, of course, to the Intense Conference in February. I mean, that could be a really cool gift.
Oh, that would be awesome. That's so fun. And just planning on making 2021 a great, successful year, kind of moving forward. It could be a nice kind of, thoughtful gift to kind of say, let's move forward together. Let's make this next year really great, no matter what happens, and go to the conference and kind of increase that business success awareness and learn some awesome new things.
Yeah. And what's nice is the early bird special discount is still going on. That will end shortly. So make sure if you do want to register for the conference or give somebody a Vendor 101 course for an end of year gift, to purchase those soon. Oh, well, Vendor 101's not early bird discount, but the conference is. So if you register soon before the end of the year, you can take advantage of a nice little price cut there.
Yeah, great pricing. That'd be fun gifts. Maybe we should
Yeah.
give some of our vendors conference tickets.
Yes.
should.
If you get
I can think of a few.
if you have a different kind of special vendor that might need a little extra
Your naughty list.
something on your naughty list might need just a little extra education. This is a nice way to say, hey, look, I got you something. Please
That's
learn
true.
some new things.
That's a great idea.
And if you get a ticket to the conference as a gift, we want to know about it. So let us know, because I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
Yeah,
Awesome.
spread that plan. That's a good idea. I think,
Yeah.
Justine, you were saying too, we've had some conversation, I think a couple episodes ago and in our private Facebook group online about tip jars.
Oh, yeah.
And I would guess that tip jars could be a little bit more full at the markets that are open around the holidays. Not that we're promoting every single vendor putting a tip jar out there, but if they do, or, it could be a fun time to put a tip jar out and get donations to give to, a foster kids home or some local charity, one of your good food system charities in your area, that kind of thing. That could be a fun thing to do at the market.
Yeah, tip jars, we've talked about this before. Sometimes they can be a little awkward at the farmer's market, but I feel like there's something about the holiday spirit at the end of year. People just want to, there's just that little magic that people want to give a little bit more, or especially with your farmer's market regulars, if you have that rapport with them, they know you as a vendor, they might know that you're trying to save up for something, or, just in your conversations, people learn about you. So they might be like, here's a little something extra for you. Or so I think that if you are going to have a tip jar, maybe the holidays are an okay time to do that in a tasteful way, and depending on kind of the personality of the vendor, the personality of the market. But I think they could be a fun little extra thing for the holidays.
Yeah, that could work. And anybody that's been kind of struggling with operational costs for markets, like a lot of us have this year, this would be a good time to promote your Friends of the Market kind of fundraisers and promote people giving memberships to those friends groups as holiday gifts. So that's a real good opening for you. We're going to be promoting our shopping bags and easy grab and go shopping bag and market money gifts. So, work those holidays. You're going to be open.
Work it. People are shopping. I mean, with as many people that are struggling right now, there are people that are fine. They're making money. They're ready to shop. They want to buy local, like we've said in past episodes. People are really interested in actually buying local, shopping local for their gifts this year. And so make it as easy as possible for them.
Right.
Because even if they have money to spend, they might not have time to figure out how to do that. So just make it easy for them and let them know how to support you best.
Yeah, and a couple of just really simple tips too for vendors. Square, if you use the credit card processing Square, I believe that you can. I don't think you have to have the paid account. I should double check this, but you can give gift cards on Square. So if somebody is shopping at the market and is like, "Hey, my friend always comes to the market. I want to buy some of your product for them, but I want them to be able to pick it out." You can do gift cards through Square, and lots of the different credit card processing systems do that too. So depending on whatever one you use, check it out. There's simple ways that you can give digital gift cards, and if you are a market manager and you want to give gift certificates, the way that we do it at our markets is we just print out little, they're little card voucher things that are our market money, and we sell those as gift cards. So we've talked about that in past episodes. We can link to some of those in the show notes for today, but those are really, really helpful and really simple gifts. We've sold a bunch of them on Wednesday. Somebody came and bought $75 worth of them. So
good.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's good news. And this year too, I mean, honestly, the economy is going to be weird for a bit. So there are people that are going to be food insecure. And I think Bridget's mentioned this before, if you feel awkward trying to figure out how to help people with that, giving them gift certificates to a farmer's market is a great way to, get them some extra groceries.
Yeah,
exactly.
And make it festive.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're shopping local, you're giving them food. I mean, it can't go wrong.
Win-win-win.
Win-win-win.
It's always the right size. Who returns food?
That's right.
Some people do.
Ooh, not at the market.
Not at the market, yeah.
It's certainly not during COVID.
No. Oh, that's a no-no. Yeah, well, Awesome. So lots of ways to make the holidays shine at your market. So if you're open or closed, we're pretty excited about the holidays, especially New Year's and the end of 2020. Please, Lordy, I hope that January 1st, although I did say something when it was like, does everyone think that January 1st is just going to magically make everything disappear?
Yeah,
and
like
yes,
it's going to be like the opposite of Y2K.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
It definitely is. Everything will be in soft, sparkly colors. Birds will be tying your apron around your waist. It's going to be magical.
I am ready. I'm ready for it. Okay. I'm going to manifest that. So I know everyone's with us on that. So come on, 2020. We are excited about Intense, the Farmers Market Conference coming up in 2020.
2021.
I'm sorry.
2021.
God, I can't get it out of my thing.
Don't stick us here.
See, I can't even move forward with the
Groundhog
date.
year.
I do feel like it's Groundhog year. All right, so 2021, and that's when the conference is happening. So that's when the magic happens. February is right around the corner. So don't forget to register while early bird pricing is still in effect until the end of the year. Treat somebody, treat yourself. We want to see you there, live online. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot.
All right. Well, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Farmers markets are all about community, and all of us, operators, farmers, and vendors, keep learning. We offer a variety of ways to do that. Learn what's happening at markets in other parts of the country and share what's happening in your area in terrific conversations over in our private Facebook group, the Farmers Market Pros Community. Find us there, answer the 3 qualifying questions, and join the group. If you're just getting ready to launch your farmers market business, increase your chances of success by taking Vendor 101, now online and available for aspiring vendors throughout the U.S. Find it at farmersmarketpros.com. Take advantage of our special discount code for podcast listeners, TALK21, and register now for Intense, the Farmers Market Conference at farmersmarketpros.com. Now's the time to get the earliest of early bird prices and reserve your place at this 4-day conference coming to you live online in February. Have a question? You can always message us on Instagram at Farmers Market Pros or email us at connect@farmersmarketpros.com. Thanks for listening to Tent Talk. Please leave us a review on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you access your podcasts, and tell us and others how you're enjoying Tent Talk. If you're listening on YouTube, give us a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss our next episode. Tent Talk, the Farmers Market podcast, is proudly produced by Farmers Market Pros, where passion meets profit. Today's episode was recorded and edited by Justine Marzoni Mead. Original music by David Mead. Thank you so much for listening today, and we'll have another great episode for you next week. Tune in.